want to thank everybody for coming to today's feature release. So we have a new feature for Pro Plus plan, and we're going to talk about it today, but I just want to give you a little background about how it came about. Clara and Amanda, they really wanted to give you guys something something special for Thanksgiving, with all the gratitude that they have for you guys. Would not be the company we are without our community, and Clara and Amanda know that more than anybody. And so they both really kind of pushed this through and made this happen before Thanksgiving so you guys could use it for fourth quarter. So I hope you enjoy it. I think you guys are going to be thrilled. And again, I really just want to thank Clara and Amanda for making this happen. And it is fabulous. And I can't wait for you guys
So
to
today we're going to walk through the new feature. It is called BatchLister. If you take a look at the left-hand navigation here, you'll notice this new option here for BatchLister. Literally just deployed about and released about 15 minutes ago. So everybody should have this now. If you don't, just refresh your page if you need to right now. But this new option is here. So BatchLister is a new way to help users and you guys list in bulk more efficiently. It comes with two different options. We see here the batch mode and sequential mode. The goal here is to work into your workflow that you are doing now and whatever fits best. So there's multiple options, and we'll go through each of these options here. All of them can be done on both mobile and desktop. Once I'm done with the little demonstration, we'll switch over to mobile and we can go through it. Real quick, an overview on why you would use one versus the other. Batch mode is really good for your similar items. You have the same amount of photos for each listing, and sequential mode would be more along the lines of your unique items, different amounts of photos, unique clothing items, things like that. So I'm going to start with batch mode and then we'll move into sequential mode as well. So batch mode, if I load in here, just looks like our normal image uploader. So what I'm going to do here though, I already have my photos set up for batches, but I'm going to upload them. Typically a list perfectly listing allows up to 30 images. This batch mode, the limit right now is set at 600. I am just uploading 60 images here. And from here, what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to list perfectly how many photos are per listing. So you can see a little basic math problem taking place here, but I'm going to increase this to 6. I uploaded 60 images. I'm saying there's 6 images per listing. Therefore, we're going to create 10 listings. So at this point, all of our images for this in this batch have been uploaded. We've determined how many listings we're going to create. Now, the next decision is, do we want to simply create blank drafts to be saved to our catalog immediately? At that point, you would just select to create 10 listings, and it would be saved to your catalog, individual 10 listings that would just have the images uploaded. The other option here, though, is to utilize Listing Assistant and use the AI in more of a batch format. So we see here, I can enable Listing Assistant. I can set a tone. You have the same tone here. And at that point, you can create 10 listings. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And we immediately see this progress bar where the generating AI is starting to work on each of the 10 listings at once versus creating individual listings. So I'm going to be pushing things to the limit here with the images and me on Zoom and sharing screen, but we'll give it a moment here. Let it generate all the listings. Really, the cool thing here is you'll notice the little message is that just do not close this tab and everything will just keep on working in the background. You could have a batch of 100 listings being generated, just open up a new tab and you can work on anything that you would like to work on while those listings are being created. So we see here that all of those 10 have been created. Now, if I just hopped over to my catalog here, we see all 10 listings have been generated with the AI has already been processed on them. So you'd be able to, at that point, come in and if you need to review anything or make any adjustments, or maybe, you're just making bulk edits and you're on to cross-listing or doing whatever you would do next in your workflow. So it's kind of a mile-high overview of the batch mode. And then sequential mode is going to have a lot of the same benefits, but this is more like you're listing in a more of a traditional flow. So let's just say I came in here and I had a listing and I was taking photos and I uploaded 6 and This one's done. I can move on to the next one. And maybe my next one, okay, this one has 6 images, and then I'll move on to my next listing and I'll take 2 images or 10 or 20 or 30, whatever it might be. And once you have all of your images uploaded into the listing and you've created your batch that you're going to be processing at once through sequential mode, you would just simply finish and process. So you can see here where we've got 3 listings created, 6 photos and then 20 photos. So different amounts. And at this point, you have the same options that we showed in batch mode, where you can finish and process to create blank drafts, or you can enable the listing assistant and have the same exact option of selecting the tone and then processing those listings in bulk. So a lot of times we see a lot of users that will utilize kind of this blank draft method. Maybe they have teams that work on photos on one device, and then somebody else comes through and works on finishing listings. So this is a way to really keep that workflow going with minimal interruption, moving through from listing to listing, and then create those blank drafts. And then also for the users that will always be using Listing Assistant for their listings, they can enable and then just finish and process. So you can see where kind of the differences are. Optional AI, again, is totally optional. At this point in time, you can select tone. For those of you that are utilizing listing assistant templates, those are not fully integrated to here quite yet. It is something that will be coming, but those templates are not. So right now it's the tone selection and then the AI. So here we see those listings created. Now if we hop back over to our listings, we see it all generated and the listings have been saved. I mentioned that it is fully available on mobile. So if I were to switch over here to like kind of a mobile view, you can see where you have the same exact options. There's really no difference. You can upload photos and do it in batch mode. You can move through in sequential mode. One thing I did not mention is that while you're in here, it also gives you the ability to utilize all of the image manager features. So it's not like you're limited in what you're doing here. So you can still access any kind of adjustments from here. You can utilize bulk actions for removing backgrounds in bulk. If you utilize catalog only photos feature and all of the other image manager tools. It's just a tool and a feature to hopefully help you to stay more organized and reduce the amount of clicks and help to work into your workflow. This is a beta feature at this point. So it's available on Pro Plus in beta. So at this time, it is stable and tested, but we would really like to get feedback, hear feedback from users that are using it, and see how it goes during this beta period. Really helps us to refine and to fine tune things. I don't know, Teresa or Trish, if you want to add anything to that, that's kind of the how to on each option here with the new batch lister. I think that probably some of the batch mode is somewhat familiar if you utilize it through eBay, especially if you're listing things like cards
Yeah,
or
so
media.
eBay's batch mode works exactly the same way that Patrick just explained this batch mode, right? You needed the exact same amount of photos because it just counts how many photos and then makes a new listing. So, but eBay doesn't have the sequential thing. So when he showed me the batch, I was like, great, that's awesome. But then when he showed me sequential, I was like, oh, that's game changer to me. And I know we throw around that word a lot, but the fact that you can have it going in the background is just awesome to me. So, Mike, anybody have any questions they would like? Please feel free.
One of the things I don't think Patrick mentioned was that you can also do when you're doing your photos, you can pick the photo only option, right? What's that called again?
Photo.
Catalog only. So when you're doing it, you can also pick catalog only photos. Is this not the best, people? I told you.
So funny. Liz Hall, go ahead, my friend.
Okay, I might have missed it, but does it go directly into drafts?
Yeah, great question. Yes. So all listings will be created as drafts initially. Yes, as they're being
All right,
saved.
so I use like my own templates in conjunction with the template prompt. So
Mhm.
usually, if I'm doing a listing, I would drop my template in first, and then I would run the prompt over it, because if you do it the other way, the information gets lost that way. So if we do it through the bulk, we wouldn't be able to do that, right?
Yeah, so right now, so you are correct. You can combine templates. So if you were going to do bulk, maybe a good workflow for you, if you're going to leverage all those other tools, would be to utilize BatchLister to create blank drafts. And at that point, you would be able to, so for example, if I uploaded a bunch of listings here or a bunch of photos and I increase this, and I don't utilize the listing assistant to generate AI details right this moment, but instead I just create blank drafts. You can leverage all the tools that you're referring to still out of that more blank draft. So you can combine your templates and then run the listing assistant at that point. So if I go to drafts here, I have these blank listings that are ready to go, but I've done like a massive dump of all of my images and got all of these listings created. Now I can utilize a lot of the tools that you're referring to, like applying the template and then also your listing assistant templates.
Okay, let me say I like this a lot because it's
Mhm,
very customizable to this point. You
mhm.
know, it's good. I can see this like really speeding up the workflow. So that's my only question. Thank you and comment.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the goal. So, I mean, I'm hoping that everybody kind of feels that impact and, any feedback. I will kind of shed a little bit of light that it is coming, that more full integration of everything into batch mode. So, like Liz is talking about the AI templates, other templates. Right now, this feature is not fully integrated with all of those as we're in this beta mode.
Comment real quick. Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Having computer issues all day. One thing that I immediately thought of doing, and I started writing it down and making notes, is I think that if you take pictures in batches, like all your jeans, all your shoes, or whatever, to have some kind of I have other people taking my pictures. So I immediately started putting together a document of these are the 7 shoe pictures that I want. These are the 6 pictures if you're taking a picture of pants. These are the 5 pictures I want if I'm taking a top. And if you have that, then if you do all your tops, then you don't have to worry about, like, from this day forward, I will only have the same number of pictures of shoes, only have the same number of pictures of jeans, so that I can utilize this. Right now, we didn't have that. Right now, the pictures, if we were taking pictures, they would all have to be sequential mode or batch uploaded. Actually, it'd have to be sequential mode because we don't have the same. So from this day forward, when you're taking pictures, just keep that in mind and make a note of it so that you can utilize this new tool and absolutely speed up your workflow.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I would suggest that you make sure you hit the minimum if you guys are going to look at your listings quality report and it tells you what the minimum for each one is. I would definitely, if you're going to do that, hit the minimum so you're not having to go back and fix anything later. Malika,
So of course, I'm excited.
I knew
Like,
you would be.
girl, for
I
quantity
know.
listings, I mean, multiple listings, my gosh, amazing. So I had a question, right? So I was trying it and it's got the AI quota and it came up once I put in 12 photos. I was going to use the AI and my AI quota was 980 of 1,000. So what does that actually mean? How many is it using when I'm doing the AI? Is it using it for one group of photos as it would, or is it doing it for multiples? The second question is the background remover available in this batch mode, or are we having to use the background once we put the drafts to?
Yeah, great question. So this quota we'll work to make this a little clearer for everybody. But so in this example, the way I have this set up right now, I uploaded 60 photos and right now I have it set to 2 images per listing. So that would be 30 AI generations subtracted off of here. So it's going to be the amount that is taken from the AI will be determined by how many listings you're creating. So if I were to increase this, okay, now it would be 6 images per listing. Now 10 listings are created and 10
So
would be subtracted.
why do you have 5,000? Are you because
Uh,
you're an employee? How do we get more?
Yeah. I know somebody,
Because you're
Yeah, you know.
special, right?
I'll send them a fruit basket and they give me,
I can send
no.
edible arrangements. Where do I mail it?
Yeah.
I can tell you for how expensive edible arrangements are, I would encourage you to upgrade to Pro Plus 4
Yeah.
or Tier 3. But no, seriously though, my account is just simply set up to the Pro Plus Tier 3. That's how many is available at that level.
Was there another question?
Yeah,
Background.
yeah,
Background remover,
yeah.
right.
So background remover, again, you can do this in bulk, select multiple listings, or I'm sorry, multiple images, and do that in bulk to remove the background, or you can select individual items, so or images. So if you came in here and you were just going to use the standard one, you can do that as well.
So you could, if people are background remover people, you could do it all those right now in one shot.
Yeah, you could select all and then it
Yeah.
would process.
Cool. I know you just made Malika's whole day there, Patrick. You don't even know. Tommy.
Hello, I'm so glad you're here. And yeah, this is going to be so great. I do have one question though. So when you're running this, how do I want to put this? In our like normal mode, when we use the AI lister, as far as I know, it's still set to, I think, the first 6 images. Is it still going to be that way in this way? So you have to have your images kind of sort of like 1, 2, 3, like numbered them and kind
Front
of,
loaded.
yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or how's
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
going to
yeah,
work?
absolutely. So yeah, I mean, this isn't, I don't have the most perfect example right here, but let's just say that really my first listing consisted of 10 images here. The first 6 are going to be analyzed.
Move
So
them
if
around.
you can move them around and
Okay,
rearrange them.
so I
So,
mean,
Oh,
that's the
that's how
okay.
you would handle it.
So when I'm looking in, so this is a sequential that you're in right now, right?
no,
So
this
you
is
would just
batch.
move them.
I'm in batch right now.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, but for both sequential and so like this right here, if I was doing, let's increase this to, okay, let's say that 10 photos per listing. I'm gonna have 6 listings in this batch. For each listing, the first 6 are analyzed. So
Okay.
like for me right here, like let's just say that these first 2 rows were one listing. And I can see here that the photo of the tag is currently in the 8 spot. That, I mean, for me personally, I want to move that up. I want to get that into make sure the AI is analyzing that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So that's what I really
And let
wanted
me
to
just
know.
say this. If you are ever in one of these meetings and you have a feature request, please still go put it in writing. They take them very seriously, and we can't expect Patrick to, remember all of this. So if you guys have a good idea, if you're working, please put a feature request in. We rely on those and we take them seriously. They're very happy about, oh, I'm sorry, T, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say they're very happy about the SKU generator coming in.
Oh, cool.
Patrick, can you explain to them what happens if I have uploaded 63 photos and I said 10 per posting?
Yeah, so essentially, you'll get a notification about uneven distribution. So you do have to have an even amount of distribution into the photos. So it's not like there can be stragglers that get omitted, nothing like that. So, and also, I mean, you do want to be kind of, aware of if I were to have uploaded a total amount that would have allowed me to do 7 images per listing, that you don't accidentally put that in there and then this photo goes into this listing. So just some things to be aware of. But if you tried to force the system into something, it would throw an error and explain that there's an uneven distribution.
Pam.
One of the things that I used to do when I used to batch all my photos, which might definitely help in this situation, especially if things look alike, like somebody mentioned doing all jeans and they look similar. So either make sure that your last photo, is the last photo, or you like take a picture of a wall or a blank piece of paper or a hanger, just so you know that that's the end of your listing. So it helps your flow and you don't get confused. Is this jean with this one or that tag with this one? So just a little tip there.
So I totally agree with Pam. This is my last photo every single time. I just took this sweater out of the bag. So this bag, had the sweater in it and it had my SKU tag on it. So for me, I would know that was my last photo every single time because I batch photograph. So if I did, 50 shirts, that would be my last photo so I could figure out where I was going. Now, I did not do what Teresa said, which I would now change in my flow also. I will make sure I have the exact same amount of photos in each session because it will make life much easier. Whereas before it didn't matter. I just went and found the last blue card and kept it moving.
Option for your last photos, what I do is the last photo is always the item on the scale. So
yeah,
that
I
when we
do
create
that
our
also.
list, we can create our listings, we can use that information to put into the List Perfectly catalog.
Yeah,
as long as you just have the same, you have some kind of marker so you know where one listing ends and another one begins. It doesn't matter what you use, but trust me, I've messed this up plenty of times. So just giving a little tip so you don't mess up like I've done.
Tommy.
One more question. I didn't see it, but in the bulk actions for your pictures, is that new feature that we have for hide pictures, is that available in there also?
Yep, it sure is. Yeah, the catalog only photos. So yeah, if I were to have uploaded a few, you can still access it here from bulk actions to select ones that you want to basically omit from cross-listing.
Fantastic.
We good?
Everybody's going to go create 1,000 listings.
I know, exactly.
Stay home from family Thanksgiving and just list.
Again, it is fully available on mobile. So if you're taking photos, I'm on a computer running a simulator, so not going to be able to show you the take photo feature, but sequential mode, if you were taking photos of multiple items and you were taking photos, you did 4 of one image, 15 of one listing, 15 of the next, you can just move into the listings over and over. So very flexible. Liz kind of pointed out, it really depends on very flexible to work into your different workflows. So that's kind of a overview. There is if we go back to the main page here, there is a almost 4 minute video here, kind of running through each of them and the how-to for that, if it's something that you want to refer back to. And then also it's available in the guide as well. So if you were to go here and search for BatchLister, you'd be able to find it.
Brian.
This is probably the biggest game changer I've seen. So for somebody that does a lot of listings, this is going to save a ton of time. So
you can't say that without saying that AI was a game changer.
Yeah, this is probably the bigger one.
All right, I'll give you that one.
Especially once they get the AI prompts in here, I think this is going to really speed up processes for people. This is going to be huge. I just did 23 in just a couple of minutes. So
be careful. You're going to have 3,200 drafts like I do.
Hey, I'll take it. I have 7,000 items that need to be listed. So
great. The AI prompts are integrated. It will really change the game.
But the point is that this is going to save a ton of time, a ton of effort. And, I have help. You don't need help. You can get 1,000 listings done in no time. I'd like to see how many you get done, Brian. Like if you work this week on Monday, just kind of keep track of how many listings you can get done with this new batch stuff.
Yeah, I'll keep track of that. I'll keep track of that starting next week. How many I do, because I've been doing 1,000 a month without this.
Yeah. So see, you have, and that's why I said Brian, because I know that he has some kind of a ballpark. But I would be interested to see what everybody ends up doing.
Malika.
I was going to say, to Teresa's points, like, it's game changer, to quote Brian, because I have so many different things, right? And I'm not a person that sequentially puts my pictures in order and all that. In my phone, there's shoes, there's scarves, there's hats, there's a refrigerator, right? There is everything. And the fact that I don't have to get so overwhelmed about trying to do it all together at the same time for the consistency is just amazing. And then I can click on the listing assistance and not have to worry about what language or verbiage or mood or mode I'm in. It's just amazing. It's amazing. So
I knew that you'd be happy about this.
Tell me where the videos to show this new feature are. I'm going to have my team watch them.
Yeah, so actually on the BatchLister page, you can watch the demo video. That's probably the
Okay.
best.
Just scroll
Okay.
down to the
But
bottom.
there's also the full guide here. Should be able to search it right from
We're
here.
gonna try it today because we're typically people that take pictures right in LP. And so
Mhm.
that's like this tool would be not useful in that type of a workflow, but we're gonna try taking them into the camera roll instead and seeing if it saves time.
Now you could, I mean, you could use that is totally I don't know if you do the same amount of images per listing. Maybe that batch isn't, but the sequential mode, you can still use the take photo feature
Yeah, you
And
can
from
then
take
your
just
those quick.
run the listing assistant all at one time for all of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that might be a better workflow for that. But yeah, if you were in sequential and you did I'm not able to show it on this desktop right now, but you click it, you take photo, you do that for, the first pair of jeans that you do, and you take 8 photos, and then you click next, and the next item is,
But it would be
Um,
interesting, Crystal, for you to do it both ways to see which way would really save you the most time.
Right.
yeah.
Because initially, when I came in late and I heard this feature, I was like, more, like it's not going to work for me.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Uh-huh.
maybe it will if we can continue to take, because I don't want to waste time with taking, because I used to take them all into a camera roll and then sit down and load them into each listing. I don't want to go back to that. So if
No.
I can take them right in LP and then just click next
But
and then
Crystal,
run, because I think the listing assistant is what takes a
it
long
does
time
take
usually, is waiting for it to do its thing,
I
Yeah.
and
agree.
then it's, so if we can do them all at once, like take all the pictures and then run the listing assistant on multiple listings at once, that would be great.
Sequential would probably work the best, Crystal. It seems like off the
Definitely,
top.
because what we do is as soon as the item is photographed, we're sticking it into its plastic bag and it's sealed. So we can't go back and touch it again. So we'd have to do the flaws at the time of
Okay.
photographing it the
Yeah.
first time.
Yeah. Kelly.
Thank you. Patrick, can you go back to that simulator for the mobile and the sequential image that you started? Okay, so for that one, and then you click on images to take the photo, but is that next button for each photo? You have to wait for the photo to load and hit next and do the next photo, or is that next for the next listing?
Excuse me. This button here is for the next listing.
Okay, so you can take 5 photos, 8 photos, 12 photos, and they're all going to load. And then when you're ready to the next listing, you hit next.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, good. Okay.
What Robin was kind of referring to was that when you're taking them off of your phone and you hit to take your photo, that you got to go, okay, next, let me take another photo. Next, let me take another photo. But this button here is for the listing.
Okay, yeah. So you can kind of do your photos pretty quickly if that's what you're used to doing. They're all going to load, and then you just hit next for the next listing. Got it. I
Exactly.
like that.
Yep. Yep.
I love this system. I'm very happy about it.
Cool. Yeah, no, I mean, definitely the goal here is to, I don't want people to feel like they have to like change their entire business to work with these bulk tools. The goal here is that it would more naturally flow into everybody's workflow, within reason. I mean, there are going to be cases where somebody is utilizing other features that just aren't quite integrated, and maybe it just doesn't make sense to use this right this second. But
Okay, now hit the
overall,
next
though,
button.
yeah, so now you would hit next, and now you're just into the next listing, and this
Perfect.
one,
Okay, cool.
yeah,
Thanks.
sure.
Does anybody have any other questions? Because, like I said, we got to stop right at the top of the hour. And I want to thank Patrick for coming. I know that there are 53 people in here. And I know that a lot of this, we all get excited when Patrick comes. And, he always has great, you may have answered this, but I pull my photos from my iPhone. Will that still work? Yes. You could do that on mobile. No problem.
Yeah, sequential or batch mode, either way. But yeah, same thing. You don't have to take the photos into it. So,
Yep. Laptop also. You can do that also.
mhm.
How
Alex.
lucky are we had Patrick on Friday and on a Tuesday? He drops the bomb on Friday, and we watched the fireworks today. I personally cannot thank you enough, and your team for getting this done. This is perfect.
Yeah, no, they did it. They did a great job, and yeah, no, thanks for letting me do it. I think that I know it's a lot to digest, but I think once you get using it, you'll find something that would make more sense or would help you out in your business, and just let us know because yeah, it's definitely a feature that is kind of the start of even more to come with the listing experience. So yeah, it should be, we're hoping it's very impactful.
And we appreciate it. Remember, it's in beta, Pro Plus only. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, guys. I hope you all have a great day.
From all of us at
Yeah, happy
Resellers, we
Thanksgiving.
want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving.
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 What are you grateful for this year? Just wondering. Happy Thanksgiving.